Fellas, I know y'all saw it. The world saw it. Public humiliation. NFL made a bold statement to the Sanders family, letting them know that they're not bigger than the program. I know what I want to say about that. I'll give y'all the floor, and y'all do what
Uh,
y'all do with it.
SHEDUEUR is bigger than the program. And I say that because he had the privilege of having a father like Dion to raise him and coach him and make him, well, contribute heavily to the person that he is. He don't need the league, bro. He'll be fine even if he didn't have the league. You feel me? And I think that SHEDUEUR, that's why he's bigger than the league, because he doesn't have to play football the rest of his life to be all right. He already established his likeness. You feel me? He already established himself as a black man, a young black man, but he already established. So what are we? Who can really? Even if he didn't get drafted, what you think, this nigga gonna be a failure? Nah, this a fly young
he's already a
nigga.
success.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he gonna be all right wherever he find his way at. I do think it's fucked up because we all know he's more talented than they treated him.
Yeah.
You know, but I wouldn't want him to look at this as a humbling. Everybody's like, they trying to humble him, or like, it ain't no humbling, bro. You already got an advantage. You was chosen, nigga. Like, God gave you gifts. God gave you, you feel me? Everything that you have, bro. How many people your age have what you have? My nigga, you made what, $6 million in NIL?
Mm-hmm. And he just signed $12.2 million with Nike the other day.
Okay, well, he was rich before that. You feel me?
Yeah.
So, SHEDUEUR, you're bigger than the program, bro. I wish you the best.
I'm gonna get. I feel you on that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you a little pushback on it. When you say he's bigger than the program, the problem when you say that he's bigger than the program is that there's thousands and thousands of people applying for that job. This is an interview. You can't go into the NFL and basically tell people that you're not finna go meet up with teams. You missed 7 interviews with 7 teams. I'm just a person who been in them same doors and been to some of them NFL facilities. Like, there's people really out there that's chasing it, and one thing you gotta understand is that everybody trying to go to the league. So you gotta be a certain way, just like you as who you are in your business. You gotta be a certain way, regardless of how you feel when you lead the office. You gotta conduct yourself as a professional. You can't say you're a professional athlete and not living up to that. When you miss interviews, this is your biggest interview. Combine, you don't compete. You don't compete. Also, leadership role. He has some leadership roles, but can you lead grown men now? Remember, this ain't college no more. You gotta lead grown men out here that really don't care if you Deion Sanders' son. Like, that's out the door. You ain't gonna have the same players that you had in Colorado, far as the offensive weapons you had. So, like, for him, it's not a humble. I won't say, like you said, it's not a humble experience, but also he just got to understand is that you in the big league now, and that's just real.
Can I give you? Listen, bro. It wasn't no problem for the league when Eli Manning did it.
Eli Manning won a Super Bowl, both of them.
Fuck that.
No. What he's
You're not
saying is
listening.
prior to that, because Eli got drafted by the Chargers. His father,
Yeah, his father
stepped in.
Yeah,
His father Archie Manning stepped in and said, "No, he's not playing for them." And then the Chargers had to trade him to the Giants. So what Dion did, said the same thing. Dion was like, "Look, there's certain markets I don't want my son to play for. I understand this business. I was once a part of it.
So,
certain markets I don't want my son to play for."
all right.
I'm not.
I'm just saying, listen to what you just said though. He got what though?
Hold on.
We ain't talking about before he got drafted. We talking about something that happened as he got drafted.
But that's the same thing Archie Manning did.
No, that's what I'm trying. No, I'm talking about what you're saying. You're saying that when Archie Manning got drafted, then that's changed.
No. He was already on record saying he doesn't, because you got to remember, this is the NFL. You know who has the first pick. Archie was already on record saying he don't want his son to play for the Chargers. That's why they drafted Eli Manning. The father intervened because remember, the father also played in the NFL. He was a quarterback for the New Orleans Saints. So now his father intervened and said, no, I don't want Eli to play for the Chargers. So the Chargers drafted Phillip Rivers. Then they swapped the player. That's why Eli ended up in New York, and then Phillip Rivers ended up with the Chargers.
Exactly.
Okay.
It's the same thing.
No,
it don't matter. He kicked and screamed about it, bro.
Nepotism has always been around.
Yeah, I get what y'all saying, but what I'm trying, I get what you're saying though.
But
there's more to it. Also.
But hold on.
But why we gotta be humble though, bro?
No, I never said to be humble.
Listen, why we can't talk our shit?
I'm not saying
Shedeur's bigger than
why we can't be arrogant?
But
just like you can't do everything at your job. You can't be arrogant at your job. You couldn't go at an interview for your. So you went up there, you like, man, I don't gotta do this shit. Like you didn't start working there and say, hey, man, I don't gotta do that.
It's the difference, though.
See, here's the thing.
It's the difference.
Here's what Barry is saying that y'all not really catching.
I know we understand.
I agree with Shedeur. First of all, y'all know me. I've been saying Shedeur is the truth. I prime all that.
Yeah.
I've been pushing that narrative, right? However, at the end of the day, you want these wealthy billionaires to draft you. You can't get yourself into the league. Well, you can based off your play, but ultimately a team has to select you, right? So there's a process. Now, there's some things that, and overall, I'm pro Shedeur, pro Prime, but there's some things throughout the process that you forgot, like this is still a business that's being ran and operated. Although you didn't want to play for these teams, you should have still took the interview and been professional about it.
Just like I was saying, that's what I'm saying with Eli Manning.
I'm not talking about more so.
That's what I'm trying to say. It's not that. Yeah.
Nah.
I said it wasn't nothing about being humble. What I said was, at the end of the day, like he said, when you're talking about Eli Manning, right? The situation was you didn't hear him missing out on pro day. You didn't miss him missing interviews.
Pro day, let me stop you right there. The thing with the pro day is this: he wasn't the first one, and there'll be many others that comes after him. Here's the situation with the pro day. Always remember this, right? You're an athlete, you know this. Let's say you have a nagging injury that's taking place that you good?
Yeah.
Let's say you have a nagging injury, right? That you may pass, that may get you through the physicals where the team don't notice it. Let's say it's from the bowl game, last game of the season, right? Now, you're already projected to be a top 5 pick. Bryce Young didn't throw neither when he was number 1, just to throw that out there. So now, in that case, when you're already projected to be a top 5 pick, you can do more damage than good. Because the ceiling, you're already at the ceiling. So if you show up and your throwing mechanics are off, you're missing these timed routes, and everything is just not in sync, now you just gave them reasons why not to draft you in the top 5 based on the film that they saw from for the whole year. So him not throwing, to me, that's not an issue because a lot of quarterbacks has done that in the past. You get what I'm saying? So when they try to use that as a narrative, that's just them trying to pile on. No, a lot of players, when they're top 5 picks, elect not to participate in certain events or field events because at that point, if I know I'm going number 1 overall, I can do more damage than good.
Yeah.
I can't go any higher than 1.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
But
that's why a lot of people don't throw. That's why they don't throw at the pro day, at the combine, but they'll throw at, no, I'm sorry, they won't throw at the combine, but they'll throw at the pro day with their receivers. Because when you're at the combine, I've never thrown a ball to you before. So the time route that I know when Bard get out of his breaks, I got 3 seconds I'm counting in my head. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi. He's coming out the
go
break.
wrong. For sure.
So now if this person's faster or slower than Bari, is going to throw the timing off.
It's going to be like that in camp.
Hey,
but
listen, bro.
Yeah, but
camp
you
is
get to
different.
figure that out.
But like I try to tell y'all, even with the combine, for one, like you said with injuries, first of all, you have to have a history of injuries. For one, one thing I
No, I
would
just
tell you
use that
that
as an example.
yeah, but one thing I would tell you though, even when you said the injury part, do you realize that these NFL coaches actually come to the school and talk to the trainer?
Yeah, I know that.
Like there's a record sheet. They had everything when I was going through what I was going through my process. They knew everything
Yeah, they
about
pull up
me.
your records from elementary. They know the
That's why
first
when
referral you ever got,
I was
every
think about
suspension.
this. I
They
was
know
with you,
everything.
and that's the thing. Think about this though, Bless, and you was right there. When I got them calls from the NFL teams, did I not have a messed up hamstring at the time?
Yeah, you did.
So that was one reason why I couldn't go to camp. So in that situation, they already had a history. Think about it. I'm telling them I'm all right. Remember, I went to the Dolphin training thing.
Yeah, I remember.
I showed them that I was all right. But guess what? Oh, we got a history of you just hurt your hamstring. Oh, we can't use that. So I get what you're saying, but he didn't have anything prior to that. His time he had a time to shine. And it's not that okay, he did wrong on everything. No, his play, yes, he is a great football player. And I feel that he will have a chance in the NFL. But the problem is that you failed your interview. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
You failed your interview.
It's okay to fail sometimes.
It's all right.
No,
You
it's
can't get
okay. But when
everything
you
back,
go,
bro.
but the problem is too is that he went in as a 5th round draft pick. Do you know he only gonna get probably like 1 or 2 plays in practice?
So here's the thing. Here's what they ultimately did to Shedeur. What they did to Shedeur was
Hold on, real quick.
Go to if y'all. I'm trying to tell you. I've been to camp.
Wait.
Go ahead.
I just want to make sure I'm clear on how you feel about what happened to him. You think, right? Everything you just named.
Mm-hmm.
You think that's the reason he dropped so low. That's what you think is behind it. To you.
If you
that's
look
not
at
the only reason.
No. I'm asking you though. What you think?
I'm saying is that what happened to him was also the truth of you gotta actually do things the professional way.
That's what I'm saying. So that's the reason he dropped to you.
That is a reason why he dropped.
So was it nothing else?
Cleveland chose. What else do you think it would be?
Oh man. Oh brother.
Listen. This was more so.
Oh man, they wanted to make an example.
Hold on. This example was more so aimed at Dion. Shedeur is the living example of the child that was affected by the father's sin, even though Dion didn't commit no sin. You understand what I'm saying? Because with Shedeur being so connected to his father, and his father coached him up until this point, it's a direct message to Dion because Dion's a former player. And yes, Dion is probably the only threat, the only player that can actually step into the building and be bigger than the program. Because Dion, in a sense, is bigger than life. Right? So now you understand the bravado, you understand the confidence, you understand, like, oh, hold on, the apple don't fall too far from the tree. We got to nip this now. Because if you allow Shedeur to do it, how many others is going to follow that trail that he blazed?
Hey, bro, the number one thing the Powers do, I always remember this. When they want to discourage you, the first thing they do, they want to take away your confidence. They hate when they see a confident black man. I'm just telling you how it works, bro. Anytime you walk around anywhere confident, go on your job and act too confident. They might run you up out of there.
Hey.
It ruffles feathers when they see a black, confident man that has a healthy respect for himself. Because in their head, you shouldn't have a healthy respect for yourself.
There we go.
You shouldn't.
Again, hold on. Wait.
Y'all talking to a person who's been in them doors, man.
I understand what you're saying, but it's all perspective. You speaking from a person
as an
who's
athlete,
a good athlete and a good,
but you're a jag though. Bro, it's another guy coming after you. Like that's the thing. You're not that important as you think you are.
But you are though. He is though.
Sir.
Bro, off that field, he's still important, bro. That's what I'm trying to explain. He don't need the opportunity.
I'm not saying that.
You needed the opportunity.
Yeah,
like
the guy,
somebody else.
I know, but he want to play football.
Shedeur was absolutely top 5 talent, without a doubt,
bro. If you have
value, I knew the owners. My fault, Spider. I knew the owners had a meeting between all 32 NFL team owners, because I follow the sport more than I guess the average person, because I played it and I'm more in tune with it, whatever. But it's more so the connections, the resources that's operating behind the scenes. What do I mean by that? The person that mentors SHEDUEUR SANDERS is Tom Brady. Tom Brady is part owner, Oakland Raiders.
Mm-hmm.
On record, at one of the Lakers game, not Al Davis. Al Davis is the father. But Davis, the current owner, can't remember his name in a moment. Al Davis' son, which is the current owner, and this is the Las Vegas Raiders that I'm talking about in this instance. He's on record with the hot mic. He didn't know that they were recording. He told SHEDUEUR, if you're available on the board when we're picking, I'm taking you. So not only did the owner tell you that, although the owners do say that and lie, but the person that mentors you is connected joint hip or connected at the hip with the owner. And that's your mentor. 2 people within that organization. Moving along. Deion Sanders played for the Cowboys. If you know anything about the Cowboys, Jerry Jones loved Deion. When Jerry Jones passed up on SHEDUEUR 3 times, it's hard for me to sit back and watch and not face the reality and be like, there was a meeting that was had, which dates back to his confidence, his father, the meetings.
Mm-hmm. I hear what you're saying, bro. He maybe shouldn't have went first round because of his actions, but dropped that low?
It's crazy, yeah.
Nah, bro. But that's how that's how good he is. He that good. He the chosen one. They had to go to that extent.
Like, think about it, right?
To public hang this brother.
This was a horrible approach. And I say this because by them not allowing the team to draft him that wanted to draft him, even though a lot of teams took him off the draft boards, like a lot of owners said he wasn't even on the draft board. By them taking this approach, he hijacked the whole draft. Nobody's talking about no one else.
Yeah.
So he's still,
that's what I'm saying,
top dog.
But it's like
when they blackballed him.
Exactly.
I don't think he deserved to be to have.
I'm not saying he deserved to be. I'm not saying he deserved to be drafted 5th round.
I wish he didn't win.
But the fact, what I'm saying is,
let me tell you why.
You gotta understand what it's like to be around it. You gotta understand that there's a quarterback that probably y'all don't even know right now.
Yeah, that could be better than both of them. Yeah. Yeah, I know that. Like when
it's the truth. Like,
it's
you
always
understand,
somebody better. Yeah. I knew a crackhead growing up. They used to dunk from the free throw line. After he did a line of coke, nigga. I know he'll beat Jordan in the one-on-one. It's a crackhead over town. For some reason, he ain't make it. Maybe he was a drug addict. There's always somebody
There's
better.
a lot of politics that gets involved once you get past the high school level.
You feel me? It's either in the cards or it's not.
You know, that's a crazy thing. You know it's a female somewhere in the projects eating some ramen noodles that look insane better than Beyonce? That sounds crazy, huh?
It ain't crazy.
Just don't have the exposure. And probably don't even want to do that. It's always somebody better, brother.
But that's
we get that.
Yeah, that's what I'm just saying.
I was hoping he didn't get drafted.
Yeah, where he got drafted at.
Hold on, let me tell you why I was hoping he don't get drafted. Because when we think racism hasn't don't exist, sometimes we need that wake-up call. And him not getting drafted would have been a perfect wake-up call to me. To show the world, look, oh yeah, I thought it went away, huh? Oh, I was praying. Please don't
think about how low did Johnny Manziel fall?
Not low at all. Not low. Another one, Baker Mayfield.
Bro, it's so many, but that's the thing. It's so many people that you can name, like you said, that you believe that they was an all-star in college and dropped the ball.
But it didn't affect their draft stocks, is what he's saying.
Has SHEDUEUR done half the shit Johnny Manziel did?
Johnny Manziel most of his stuff came from one. The thing, like you said, the thing happened with Johnny Manziel. He still was going to them interviews. Like I keep saying, he still was doing his part. Like I'm not saying.
I don't agree with what the NFL did. What Barry is saying is that SHEDUEUR didn't help himself by not being professional.
That's all I'm saying.
He was professional. Remember who was advising him? His daddy, the GOAT.
That's
His
it.
daddy would have never let him go down that road.
But Deion did the same thing. Deion
Okay,
did
look,
take
exactly,
interviews
bro.
with certain
For
teams.
someone
he a
who's coming,
Deion?
for someone coming out of college.
Yeah, he's not a Deion. But credit to Shedeur. We all know he helped his draft stocks after he transferred to Colorado. Because one thing we could say about one thing we could always say when he was at HBCU, which I was never one of those people, because I've been told you when I watch and break down a player, I don't just look at the accolades, the statistics. I look at the mechanics. Mechanics never lie, especially when you're evaluating a quarterback. Pay attention to the mechanics, because at the end of the day, some quarterbacks are gonna have worldly talent around them, and then they're gonna perform and look better than what they are. And then you're gonna get the players who don't have those superstar talents around them or at their disposal, but don't have the exposure. Mahomes. Nobody was talking about Mahomes when he was at Texas Tech, and he was lighting it up, throwing for 600-700 because 600-700 yards because he didn't have elite receivers. His team weren't all that. But then he gets to the league. He gets Andy Reid. He gets the good offense. Tyreek Hill. Now you see him perform at the highest level when he has the right skill sets or tools at his disposal. That's why I knew Shedeur was going to do good once he elevated.
NFL is weird, bro. So at the end of the day, because the nigga ain't saying, "Master, please hire me."
Yeah.
Yeah, bro.
He
Nobody-
get
them
like
days
it's
over with,
because
bro.
that's really like
Them days
that's
over
really
with,
like
bro.
It kind of feels like that sometimes. It kind of
gotta
feels
know
like
it's no
yourself now,
different.
bro.
It's just like
the
getting
NFL
recruited
is the
though.
good old white boys. They're
Yeah.
not giving that up.
But it's just like I said, it's just like getting recruited. You're gonna meet with the head coach, but you also gonna meet with who?
Position coaches.
Position coach. If you ain't meeting with them, they don't even know what state of mind are you at. And also, you gotta understand that during some of the interviews that he did do, he didn't take all blame on himself. He used to say, "Well, this person ain't do that. That person ain't do this. This, bro, you gotta understand."
That's what I'm saying, bro.
Yeah, but as a quarterback, bro,
bro, you're a perfect team player, bro, and I salute you for that, bro. You're a real, true.
Like I said, I've been
Football is
there.
the ultimate team game.
You feel me? But
I've been there.
I just disagree, bro.
Yeah,
I feel like
I know.
Yeah.
I've been, like I said, I seen Geno Smith go second round. Think about Geno Smith. If we being realistic, him in college, slinging the ball on everybody.
But look at what he had at his disposal. One of my teammates played with Geno. He was the third receiver, JD. He had Tavon. He had what's the other cat name?
Stedman Bailey.
Stedman. He had weapons.
Yeah.
Not saying he wasn't raw, because he clearly he had some type of
He was
talent.
doing that in high school.
The last couple of years he was doing it in Seattle. But however, he had talent around him too. In a sense, better talent than Shedeur, with the exception of Travis Hunter.
He ain't had no Heisman Trophy winner.
That's why I say with the exception of Travis.
I mean,
but
hold
on. Tavon was a Heisman finalist, and so was Geno. So technically, you got two finalists on one team.
Well, he was in the running until
Hey, Bless,
they
I'm
lost.
gonna be honest with you. I don't know if Travis Hunter gonna be like that in NFL. He looked too skinny, bro.
Nah,
I think he is, bro.
They're gonna get him the right nutrition.
He gonna be like
that.
He
got the work ethic.
That boy is built.
That boy the truth, man.
No, I know he the truth, but you dealing with grown man now.
No,
he not small.
He gonna adjust quick.
He not small.
He not that small.
Remember, bro, they're gonna put him on the right nutrition.
Because he was looking puny. I'm like, damn, he gonna get hurt with that first hit.
It been some small players that last a long time in the league. I mean, Deion wasn't big. He was just faster than everybody.
Nah, Deion was way bigger than Travis. Though.
Yeah, but Deion had more girth. He was a little.
Yeah, he was way bigger than Travis.
Bigger than him.
So
Travis
what about Sauce Gardner?
Yeah, he's skinny too. That's true.
You feel me? Like it's.
Nah, he built though. You seen him at his pro day.
Oh, he was like okay.
That boy built. He lanky. That's all.
Yeah.
He built though.
I think he's gonna be good though. And I think Shedeur, either somebody gonna get hurt and he gonna end up starting and shining for a little bit, or he gonna sit and have to get traded in a year or two.
He got a good. He's in a good position to take over though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just hate that
Flacco.
Cleveland is the place people go to die.